Hello, I'm Philip Brunelle, Artistic Director and founder of Vocal Essence and organist choirmaster at Plymouth Congregational Church in Minneapolis. Each day I've selected a composer who's had a role to play with these organizations, and today it's the Latvian composer Ēriks Ešenvalds, born in 1977, not only a composer but a singer. In 2014, at the World Choir Games, he was asked to compose the official anthem. He teaches composition at the Latvian Academy of Music. He's written operas, orchestral pieces, choral pieces, and recently a multimedia symphony called Nordic Light. You know, there are certain composers that when you are setting them in a context to tell you about, are a bigger challenge because of some of the forces they bring into their music. And Ešenvalds would be one of those, because I want to talk about a piece of his called Northern Lights. It is a piece that he said, here is his program note, Kavi, K-A-V-I, are a mythological manifestation of the Arctic lights, which are also called the Northern Lights. In olden times, people believed they were restless spirits of fallen warriors still engaged in great battles in the sky. Located far enough from the north, people of Latvia saw the Northern Lights quite rarely, in the northern sky, low on the horizon, and mostly in a faint green color. If they witnessed the lights in red color, the activity of the Northern Lights had to be extremely strong that night. In those nights, the picture was more impressive because the Northern Lights were visible higher in the sky. Therefore, the ancient people of Latvia connected the picture to fighting a battle in the sky and hoped that the war would not reach their land. So he took this idea, and he had read journals by two gentlemen who were Arctic explorers in the 19th century, and taking the beauty of the Northern Lights that they wrote about and which they saw every night, he then set out to write a piece of music called Northern Lights. And he starts it with an ancient Latvian folk song that says, "Whenever at night far in the north I saw the Northern Lights having their battle, I was afraid because they might bring a war to my land too." So how do you write about the Northern Lights? Well, what Ešenvalds did was to write it, of course, for choir, but also he wrote it for wine glasses that have been tuned, so that you put a little water in each wine glass, different amounts. You wet your finger, you rub it along the edge to get a pitch. Now, you have to do this very carefully because you have to make the pitches that he wants for the piece of music. I've heard this piece, and it's phenomenal. But how do I describe this on the piano other than to point out some of the features and hope you'll look up Northern Lights? So he mentions that Latvian folk song, and here it is. That's the beginning. So you have the choir humming at the beginning and the solo coming in. Etc. That develops. They start telling the story that was in the journal. It was night, and I had gone on deck several times, and describes what happened, and then all of a sudden, the words, you hear that Latvian folk song come back, and then it says, they've been humming, they go to an ooh, and then it says it was dark and cold at 9 o'clock, and all of a sudden you have the wine glasses, two people. So if you can just imagine, this just continues. They're rubbing those glasses going while this is happening, and then suddenly he came up on deck. It says the captain said, "Look above at once," and suddenly the wine glass part has disappeared, but the choir is going. And it tells the story of seeing these glasses. It goes on, the whole sky was a-glowing. And to get that idea of the whole sky, suddenly, again, I can't do it on the piano for you, but all of the choir, starting on this pitch right here, goes to this pitch. But how do I get there? With what we call glissando. And so everybody on their own pitch. As they say, the whole sky was one glowing mass of colored flames. And having done that, it starts to fade, and then suddenly, just imagine now, suddenly more of those wine glasses. And so all of those are going around, and they just stay while they sing. Yes, it was harp music, wild storming in the darkness, and it goes on. And then the choir, again continuing with the text, the handbells come in as well, and finally at the end, that wonderful Latvian folk song comes back. Even so, and you gradually had these wine glasses, and some of them go away and come back and go away and come back for a last. And meanwhile, the choir is just humming. It's a magical, wonderful effect. Northern Lights by Ēriks Ešenvalds. He also composed in 2014 a piece for Merton College in England. They were celebrating their 750th anniversary. And they asked a number of composers to write a piece for what they called the Merton Choir Book. And Ešenvalds wrote a Magnificat and Nunc Dimittis, those texts from the New Testament, "My soul magnifies the Lord," and the Nunc Dimittis, "Now let thy servant depart in peace." So this has no wine glasses, it has no handbells, it's a cappella choir, beautiful writing, and this is how he sets in Latin, "Now let thy servant depart in peace." And then later, when that text is finished with its "to be the glory of Israel," it now becomes very quiet, and a solo voice sings the Gloria Patri. So you have them giving you the O. and the Amen, and the choir Amen. Have a wonderful day.